everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Today we're going to work with a couple of bundles and this beautiful pack of Iconic Celebration Designer Series paper. Now, this is one of our online exclusives as well as these. If you see a red sticker on anything that I'm using, they are online exclusives, which means they're only online. They will never show up in a catalog. With that being said, this paper says Iconic Celebration, and you would think because it's with a Christmas set, it would be just Christmassy, but as you can see, there are more than Christmas. There's some hearts for Valentine's, there's some acorns for fall, there's flowers, there's plaid, more leaves, birthday candles, snowflakes, there's some pumpkins and some plaid. There's some birds, looks like the dove of hope. Just a very pretty pack of paper that you can use for more than just Christmas. So that was my point in saying all that. The card that we're going to work on today is a very simple card. It's going to look like this, very easy to make, but yet very festive. And I made this a Christmas card just by putting something inside like this. You could change up the colors and put celebrate and make it a birthday card, anniversary card, or anything else. But we're going to stick today with using this beautiful green, ivory, and cherry cobbler plaid. So let's go ahead and get started. And you know, I like to kind of take things in order. So my first order of business is going to be cutting all my paper. You'll find that this is all a very simple card to cut. So we're going to start out first with a piece of cherry cobbler. This is a 8.5 by 11 sheet. And we are going to put it in on the 11-inch side, which means that 11-inch side is going to be up at the top. And we're going to cut this in half at 5.5. So come to 5.5 and give it a slice. Now that will give you 2 card bases. So I'll put this over in my scrap bin and I'll have another card base for another card. So then I want to put it in at 4 1/4, which on the 8.5-inch side. And then I'm going to bring down and make sure that my light gray blade is there. That's my scoring blade. Give it a good score. And now we have our card base. The next thing we want to do is cut our first mat, and we're going to cut this out of the Very Vanilla. And I need this to be 4 by 5 1/4. So put it on the 4-inch and slice. And then I'm going to turn it, put it at 5 1/4 and slice. And this will give me my mat to go on right here. Then I want another mat of this beautiful plaid. So I'm going to put it in at 3 3/4. I'm coming down 1/4 inch and slice. And I'm coming down 1/4 inch, so I'm going to cut it at 5. Now this gives me my piece that I need for the front of my card. So as you can see, we have our layers. All of the measurements will be on my blog, so you don't have to write anything down now. It'll all be out there for you to see. So there is the basis of our card. Easy peasy. The next thing we need, you can see I did this beautiful Celebrate, and you might want to know where that's from. The Iconic Imagery has some cute little pieces, but the most fun piece for me is this label. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to cut that in Very Vanilla. So I'm going to stamp my word Celebrate first. So I'm going to take my stamp out and grab a stamp block. And I'm going to line this up nice and straight on my board. And then I'm going to pick it up like this. And I'm going to use that beautiful cherry cobbler ink for this piece. And I'm going to ink it. I'm going to give it a really good inking because I want to make sure I'm getting this very well saturated. And then I'm going to stamp. And I'm going to give that a few minutes for that ink to transfer. Don't rock your stamp though. Keep it nice and straight. And then lift. And you can see that we got just about all that ink off of that stamp. And it's on our paper where we wanted it to be. Now I like to stamp first and then center my label over top of it, because that helps me see exactly what is going to cut out and if that's the way I like it. So I'm going to use my Post-it flags to hold this down. And let's grab our die cut machine. And our cutting plates. I'm just going to lay that in like that and crank it through. Put our plates back up. I went ahead and did all my greenery die cutting off camera because nobody wants to sit and watch me cut pieces out for 30 minutes. And if you know how to die cut and you have a machine, then you know how simple that is. And there is our Celebrate. So now let's go ahead and get a few tools out that we're going to need. I'm going to put this die back over here so I don't misplace it. And the first thing I want to do is square up my card. Let's have a good press. And then we can go ahead if you want to and put these down. But I like to work on my piece that I'm going to put my everything that's going to glue to. Now I know I want this right in the middle, but we also want to pop this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dimensionals here and here. And I'm not going to put anything in the middle because I want that space in the middle to be able to slide all of our greenery underneath. So sometimes you have to think a little bit ahead when you're making a card so you know exactly where you want your pieces to go. Now, I took the liberty, like I said earlier, and I cut out quite a few pieces. Yeah, that's magnetic, so it kind of pulls them up forward. These are all of my dies that I used, and I'm going to show you where I got these from. All of those comes from the Golden Greenery set. And that's these right here. They're pretty. And these are all the standalone pieces that you can cut out. Now, these two little pieces, these two right here, came from the Iconic Imagery. And I love these as well because they are just little pieces that add so much extra to your card. So cute. And I've got another idea that I'm going to be making for this one, hopefully in the next couple of days. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these back onto my card. Like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and slide these back in so I don't lose them. And like I said, I have all of my pieces already pre-cut. I'm not sure that I'm going to use any of these. These were kind of big. Of course, we could. I'm rethinking this. Do I want to make this one a little bit different and just use a couple of those like that? These are the ones that I had cut. But I think I'm liking that, and it will give me two different cards. I think I'm going to go with that. Y'all know how indecisive I can be. Now, these pieces that I had pre-cut will not go to waste because I'll put these in a little Ziploc or something and hang on to those for another card. So yeah, let's do that. Let's glue these down. I'll let it hang off just a tiny bit. Something like that. So I'm going to bring my glue. And let's do a bit like that. And let's see if we can set this down. That worked beautifully. Now we can take this piece and just sit over it. And I need my little red cherry cobbler pieces because these are going to stick just every here and there to pick up some of that beautiful cherry cobbler color. And let's go ahead and put those down. Tell you what, let's take this off. Now that we've got that on there, I'm going to put two more dimensionals on this. The other way I did it, I had a lot more bulk, but I'm going to put one here and one here, and then I'll leave that opening in the middle. So we'll wait on that. Let's go ahead and no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to put this down so I can see exactly where I need to put my little red berries. So the main thing we want to do is center this just like that. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to take these and just with a tiny bit of glue on the back, we are going to sit those down just here and there. These are so delicate, but they add so much to be just a small piece. They add a lot to our card. Just continue to put glue on the back, a little bit of that. Slide it under. That gives us just that added little bit of something that just makes that so pretty. So now we can go ahead and put this piece onto our very vanilla mat. And I'm just going to use some regular glue. Press. I like to turn mine over and give them a little press from the back, just to make sure that that glue is adhering. Then we're going to take the whole thing and lay it onto our card base. Like that. Oh, that's so pretty. I love it. Now, I dug into my scraps and I don't think that this ribbon is current anymore, but let's see what else I have in here. I think I'm going to try to give this a little bit of a homespun look and maybe use this very vanilla and black. Isn't that pretty? I think that'll give it a really cute homespun look. Now I'm going to do one of my finger bows, and all I'm doing is laying my ribbon across my index and middle finger. Hold it with your thumb on your middle finger and wrap it over and then come under your index and over your middle. Wrap it back around and over your index and then back over and under your middle finger. When you get about 2 loops on each finger, you can see 1, 2, 1, 2. You want to cut it a little longer than you're going to need it. So I'm going to grab my cloth scissors and I'm going to cut look out there. Then I'm going to bring that loop, that end piece, all the way up and then push it between my fingers and pull it, just like that. Then I'm going to bring it back around and I'm going to lift that loop in the middle and come back up under it, like that. Then I'm going to rock it back and forth. And when you're done, you can slide it off of your fingers. And you're going to have a very cute loopy bow. And we're just going to trim our tails. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? I think I really like that. So as y'all know, I always like to use my glue dots to put my bows on. So I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to press the knot of the bow into that little glue dot. And then I'm going to put that right there under the word celebrate. And all we have left to do now is some gems and our inside piece. So I'm going to take a piece of very vanilla and my trusty trimmer. And I'm going to cut off a piece that is 4 inches, 5 1/4. And this will be the piece for inside. And I also want to stamp inside. So this one, you can see I used 2 colors, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I have my stamp already loaded up, and this comes from the Greetings of the Season. Again, an online exclusive, and I'm using this one right here. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. So I'm going to grab that cherry cobbler, and I'm going to ink it up. Then I'm coming up closer to the top, and let's make sure we're straight. Very beautiful. So then I'm going to grab my garden green, and from the same stamp set, Greetings of the Season, I grabbed the Merry and Christmas, and I loaded them up on the block together like this. And I'm going to stamp that in green and go in right underneath the celebration. And there we go. So now we'll open up our card, grab our glue, and lay this in just like that. Give it a press. And now the question is, do we want to put some gems on the card? I didn't do gems on the other one, but I think I am on this one. And I think I'm going to grab these new ones that I've got. These are also the online exclusive. And I'm going to grab just these cherry cobbler ones, and I'm going to put one right there and one right here. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I think it's beautiful like it is. As you can see, that was a very simple, very easy card to make, especially if you're, sitting, say maybe you don't have your creativity budding inside of you. Sit down and just cut some pieces out, die cut, and stick them to the side, or put them in the stamp case or the die case. And then when you need them, they're already cut. And then all you have to do is create your card and you're good to go. So let me know in the comments which one's your favorite, and if this is a card that you would be interested in making. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I am going to be doing something a little bit different. I had a request from a viewer, and if you remember, the card in question. Let's see if I can find it. I made these cards, and I had such a positive feedback. I had someone to ask me if I could make them and use a different stamp set. So I'm going to revisit this particular design, and I'm going to make some more of these using different stamp sets. I did use a different one on that, but they were interested in seeing me use something different. So we're going to do that, and that'll be coming up very, very soon. So thanks again for tuning in. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, God bless you. Bye-bye.